Hello everyone, and welcome back to Bandai Product and Figure Review. We have some awesome news for you guys in this video, and it's dealing with the 62nd Shizuoka Hobby Show that just happened last weekend, and it was a really cool event showcasing a lot of new Gundam models that are coming out. So let's roll intro and take a look at the Gundam informative page to see what was announced. As we can see from the headline, this is showing that the MGSD Wing Zero Endless Waltz was revealed at the show, along with other really cool option parts and SD Gundams. So let's take a look at what the SD Gundam Wing Zero Endless Waltz looks like. So let's take a look at this first picture, and as we can see, it is really nice. It's really well detailed on here. As we can see, it has the angel wings, the double blaster. We can also get a nice side view, and as we can see, it has a really nice articulation that it could possibly have. And here's a nice close-up. This is probably a finished piece, so a lot of this is probably painted. If this is not painted, that is a lot of inner frame work that adds that amount of detail. And looking at this, it does look like it has a lot of that silver as already pre-detail, where you don't actually have to paint any of that, and this looks really nice and solid. So I really can't wait to see when this actually comes out and try building this. Another big name title was the release of the RX 78-2 version 2.0. This has already been announced, but this is showcasing it for the very first time on what we're actually going to be getting. And as we can see from these reference photos, or photos from the show, it actually looks fairly well detailed. It's going to have a lot of really cool parts, weapons, and how it's going to be built compared to the original. And unfortunately, I can't read Japanese, so I can't really read any of the description on that, but it does showcase how the inner frame works and how all the pieces molded all together with various different colorations in like grays and whites, giving us a more textual panels to this particular model. And as we can see, this is the entire inner frame, and it looks fairly nice, very well molded, very crisp. This is almost reminding me of the Gundam Unleashed Perfect Gray that just came out, I believe, in 2020. So this is going to be fairly comparable from what I'm understanding. And as we can see on this picture right here, we see how a lot of the armor pieces come onto the inner frame. So this is going to be a really fun and very detailed kit. Moving on, we can see a side-by-side and various other poses for this. We can see it's going to have very good articulation to the legs and arms. This is basically the core unit, so this is actually going to be a kind of an interesting thing. So this actually can fold into its core fighter and into the core chest unit for the Gundam. And it looks like we have a lot of cool effects that comes with this. We have a mace, rocket pod, its bazooka, and a plasma mace, and various other pieces. Next up, a new one that is to be determined for release is the high grade 144 scale TR6 Barzam 2 Re-Zeon capture, and this looks like a really nice high grade model kit. I'm not sure where in the timeline this fits in, but it looks really nice, well detailed. It's a lovely red color, fairly good amount of detail, and yeah, this is probably going to be a really good kit for any of you that are interested in this. Another big popular one is another figurized standard Pi 2 Tentative. Release date is to be determined, and more details are going to be revealed this summer. So let's take a look at some of the photos that we have. And as we can see, it is a lovely molding. It has really good articulation based off of what I can see on here. It's a nice pinstripe kind of outfit. So overall, the detail on this is really great. They took a lot of good time and effort to do the molding on these faces for the decals and the bare face that they actually come with. Another really highly anticipated one is the models from Mobile Suit Gundam Requiem of Vengeance. And we have one of the squad captains, high grade 144 scale Zaku 2 F-type Solari. Looks really kind of hulky a little bit. It doesn't look very smooth, but overall it does look pretty good for molding wise and all that. Detail wise, it looks really interesting. It has a lot of hard lines, as we can see, a lot of bulging armor plates. So to me it does kind of seem a little hulky. It's not as smooth, but it does have a lot of potential with all the panel lines that come with this. And as we can see, we can probably have the hatch like open right here. And as we can see, there are people that did a weathering job here, so anyone that's interested in weathering, this is probably a good example of what you could do for some of the weathering, and it looks really nice. Next up, we have the high grade 144th scale EX RFV Gundam, and there's not much about that I know about this. Again, it's a Netflix mini-series. It looks fairly good overall. It still looks a little hulky. I'm not quite sure what's up with the designs. As we can see, it still has quite a few good details. It has a cannon here. The face is fairly well done, fairly well molded, and overall the weathering on here is fairly nice that you can do. So it looks more machine-like with all the different armor panels that we see here and on here. So it seems more bulky than anything else. But it does look cool, and I'm definitely going to be getting these just because they're really cool looking all together. Starting off with the newest figure rise standard, Nika Nanaura. She is basically one of the characters from Witch from Mercury, so seeing this as another figure gives us a really cool dynamic to add more dioramas with more characters and pilots. So this is a welcome addition to the figurized standard Witch for Mercury kits. And as we can see, she will actually have a sitting pose along with pan launch over here. And we have several other faces. Again, a lot of these are probably going to be decals that you're going to have to put on. So there will be a standard one face and then decals that you would be able to choose from. Another one from Witch for Mercury that is going to be coming out is the cross silhouette of the Calibarn. And this looks like a really cool, adorable addition, as we can see. One with the standard legs that would come with the kit, and then the add-on kit that allows greater articulation. And as we can see, this is the close-up of the small one, and as we can see, we have its boomstick that I like to call it, or broomstick, so to speak. I mean, it looks like a broomstick, but this already looks really nice. You could almost put LEDs in here, so this would actually be pretty cool. And here's the one with the cross silhouette add-on with it, and we can see that it actually has a lot of the holographic colors already on here, so this is already looking really nice. And here's a nice dynamic pose for it. Next up, we have a bunch of new model kits featuring from the Rising Freedom movie, and we have several awesome kits, starting off with the 144 scale Z-Go Tentative, and this is a to be determined one, so this has yet to get a full release, but as we can see, this is a test concept for the model kit, and we can see how the backpack is going to attach to the unit, and this is all a rough molding, so to speak, so this is not a finished product whatsoever, but this is in the works, so I am definitely looking forward to this. Like it said on here, release date is due to be determined and price to be determined. But judging by this, since it's probably going to be a high grade, it's going to be about maybe $25, $30. Next up, we have the real grade 144 scale Akatsuki Gundam. And as we can see from this reference photo, it is a gold-plated Gundam, and I'm not talking about real gold. So this is more like a gold-tinted paint. And this looks really phenomenal. It's really shiny, and it's gorgeous, actually. So this is all a gold-plated model kit. So this is going to be probably a fairly expensive kit. The molding is looking really nice. It's crisp. The lines are all there. So I may not even want to try to even paint this, because I wouldn't even know where to start with trying to find this type of gold paint. But overall, it looks fabulous for a real grade model kit. And look at the shine on this thing. So this is just literally glowing. They do have some lights on here, as you can see right here, to make it really shine. But you can see how very shiny it is. And this is one of the runners on the gold trims. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. So as we can see, it is really nicely molded. The trees are fairly well done, so it's going to be a really nice kit overall, and I can't wait for it to come out. Next up, we have the high grade 144 scale Black Knight Squadron Cal-Re A, and this schedules to go on October 24th for 4,070 yen, and that's the equivalent of $26.12 US currency. So this is already a really nice model that I'm definitely wanting to get. So this is a phenomenal looking kit with the white and gold trim on here. So I'm gonna wonder if a lot of this is going to be heavy stickers, or is this going to be painted detail. So I would have to find out once this actually comes out. But overall, it looks really nice, well molded. The amount of detail on here is gorgeous. And as we can see, this is where I'm trying to see if these are going to be stickers or if this are separate pieces. It looks like this is like a shell, so this is like two pieces, and I'm hoping that these are like kind of like how the Shinenju real grade was, where it just slides in on top of them. So that would be kind of cool, but I'll wait to find out more information. And yeah, this is a really cool power dynamic pose right here. And now, last but not least, we have another figurized standing of Lunamare Hawk, and this is basically a really cool new version of the figurized standard. And yeah, this is basically adding a lot of really more softer parts, especially apparently in the bosom area. So that's going to be kind of interesting that they're adding like very squishy parts to this. So it's going to be going on sale in July, and it's only going to be for about 4,800 yen, so again, roughly about $25. So these are several of the model kits that were being featured. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude this episode. I hope you enjoyed the latest models that were going to be coming out. There was a lot more. I just basically covered the highlights. You can go back onto the Gundam info show info page and take a look at all of the other wonderful models that were coming out or being re-released. I only covered the main hot topic ones in this video. So if you like more of this type of content, please like and subscribe and leave comments down below. I do read those. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode.